holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. But what's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network.
And I'm Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, Mentors, and Speakers. Hello, 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 hello. We are in for a conversation today on what's holding you back. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, we are so glad that you have chosen to take some time out of your very busy schedule to be on board with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending on where in the world you are watching us from. We're just
Mhm.
going to take a few minutes out of your time, your Wednesday evenings here, and we're just going to share some thoughts and have a discussion as we're going to be going back and reflecting back on some times in our lives. So stay tuned. We're going to have a very
Mhm.
interesting and thought-provoking conversation today here on What's Holding You Back. So, Christine, before we begin, yes, I know it has been a very hot and humid day and week here in New Jersey. How's the weather treating you there in the Toronto, Canada area?
Same, very hot and humid.
Yeah,
No one dares complain because we had very the polar opposite in the
yes.
winter season. So
This
summer is definitely showing up.
All right. Yes,
Hmm.
in full abundance. And yes, it is sweltering out there. But as Christine says, we're not going to complain. We're going to enjoy it and make the most of it. So that is what the summer months are all about. So, yes, as you're jumping on board, please give us a greeting, a comment. Let us know how you are managing during these hot summer months and what's the temperature like in your neck of the woods. So, as we always like to lead off our broadcast, we always like to reflect back on
Hmm.
the previous week. And last week, our topic was: are you living for today, or are you more prioritizing towards tomorrow? And that was a very enlightening conversation in which we had last week. So if you missed that, we want to encourage you to go back to both of our YouTube channels. Christine's YouTube channel is Clear Ambitions, and my YouTube channel is Rob McCray Networking. But today, our topic of discussion is going to be: have we forgotten where we have come from?
Oh wow. Hmm.
Yes. So this is going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to
Hmm.
hearing your thoughts and as we have this discussion for today. So as we start off the discussion, as we always do, we always like to start off with a inspirational quote
Hmm.
geared towards the specific topic of discussion. So Christine, if you will.
Sure. If I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Abraham Lincoln.
Mm,
Okay.
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 All right. So greetings, Sister Eve. Oh wow, EVE, long time. How you been, my sis? Good to see you.
Hello, Evie.
Yes. All right. So yes, this particular quote here, as we're going to be talking about, um, have we forgotten where we've come from? In the day and age where everything is so modernized and a lot of things are so automated, that a lot of times we take things for granted and we forget about the the small but fine things in which we need to focus on to make the job and anything in which we are doing so much easier. And as this quote illustrates, if he's going to be chopping down a tree,
Hmm.
spend the first 4 hours just sharpening up the axe. So we make that cutting process so much easier. instead of just beating on that wood with the axe, dull axe that's not penetrating. But when you take the time out, like a fine, skilled tradesman, and just
Mhm.
sharpen your tools, sharpen your mind, sharpen your ability, then the
Wow.
becomes so much more easier.
That is powerful.
Mm,
What's in your toolbox, your mental toolbox?
absolutely.
You have some trees, virtual trees, mental trees, emotional trees to chop down, and we're using the wrong tool or a dull tool.
Yes, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Hi, Eric. How are you doing? Welcome to the discussion on
Yeah,
what's holding you back.
that's my brother E out of South Carolina. Blessings, my brother. Good to see you. Yes. All
So
right.
that's very profound. Now, I didn't know exactly where the conversation would go as far as, are we forgetting where we come from? So,
Hmm.
a little bit more details on what inspired you with this topic.
Um, a couple of things, but mainly just when you take time and you just look back upon your life and different things that you had to deal with, as opposed to today where things are um,
Hmm.
a lot easier. We don't have to put in as much work because a lot of things, like I said, are automated, and we have all of these different tools and devices, and it just makes things where we don't really have to put in much manual effort, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then when you think about it, what did we do before we had these tools and all of these automations in place to do this particular type of work? We had to put in that manual labor. We had to think about what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and then to devise a plan, and then put that plan into action.
So,
So these are just some of the things that made me think about this particular topic of discussion for today.
so Rob, are you saying that we don't do manual labor?
Yes, we do, but now things are so much easier for us because so many things are now automated. But if we think about how we would have done it if we didn't have these specific tools, and we just use our minds to be more creative and make the work a lot easier for us instead of just depending on the automated tools or the resources that we have at our disposal.
So let's do a comparison. So virtually, we'll do some homework in the chat. Get a blank piece of paper, and we'll just call the left side the then and the right side now. So if we
Okay.
do a virtual exercise on the then and now, you're saying, have we forgotten where we come from? You just had a conversation or a talking point about, what did we used to do manually? What's so great about doing stuff manually?
Nothing. But when you think about it, now you say, wow, I really had to put in some work back then. Things that we wouldn't necessarily do today
Mhm.
because we have, say, for instance, a lawnmower. So when I
Okay.
was a kid, it was a manual lawnmower. It was the two wheels and it had the blades in between, right? And
Yeah.
you had to push this thing to make the blades spin and cut the grass. But now we got an electric lawnmower or the gas propelled lawnmower. We just put some gas in there or plug it into the electric socket.
Hmm.
Mm, no manual labor, so to speak. But I'm just saying that, in for instance, everything is so much easier for us now. It just, you know, when you take a look back at it from where you've come from,
Hmm.
you just don't want to take things for granted as to it always has to be something automated or something that is easily done when we have already shown to ourselves that we can do it manually if need be.
So here's my experience with that.
Hmm.
Right side, left side of the paper. For instance, you have an Excel spreadsheet, right? I'll
Hmm.
do an analogy with Excel. So for Excel, the tool itself, when we had to, especially with the payroll or accounting, we had to do it the long way. We had to have ledgers, those books where you had to put, on the debit and the credit side, and you had to balance it out. And then you, of course, the long math, right? 3 digits, 4 digits, so that kind of math. Everything manual.
Yes.
What I find with Excel, although it's a click of a button, and it'll do the work for you, but not the thinking for you. That's a difference.
Okay.
So folks fall into the pit of, oh, it's easy, it's automated. So if you have that same analogy with, and I'll come back to the Excel spreadsheet in a moment. So you have that lawnmower, that there's still the energy behind that lawnmower. You have to tell it the direction. It's not going to go on its own unless there's lawnmowers that can do that with remote controls. I don't know, right? So
Yep.
I'm thinking you have, okay, you're gonna not really perspire as much because now it has the motive in it, but it needs you to tell it where to go, when to
Right.
stop, when to start,
Hmm.
right? And so the good news, and about it is that still, I think it still lends to you using your tools.
Sure.
You still have to be sharp. You got to keep sharp. And I'll go back to the Excel. The Excel spreadsheets, a lot of people are like, do you know Excel? Do you know how to do Excel? Yeah, that's all right and fine and dandy. But if you didn't know how to do it manually, if you didn't
Hmm.
know how to do manual math, like the actual fundamentals,
Yeah.
right, of arithmetic,
Hmm.
right, then you won't know if that Excel is right or wrong. You won't. So you can come out and it looks great. There's a chart. What is that chart telling you? What's behind those numbers? And
Yes.
that's where I think, the human brain often imitated but never duplicated.
You got
That's
that.
it.
You got that right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great analogy there. How you talked about the spreadsheet and doing arithmetic and multiplication and things like that. And so, for instance, now everything we like to use a calculator instead of using our brain. We know our times tables, so go
Mhm.
back to it. Do the math for yourself. Don't rely on all of this automated stuff that is out there. It's good to have. Yes, it's going to be a lot easier, maybe faster for you, but continue to use your mind. Keep it sharp, keep it going, because when you stop using it, that's when you're going to come in having some cognitive mental decline.
Yeah.
That's what,
Critical thinking.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Your critical thinking, and that's where, don't forget where you come from. I love the conversation because where you came from. Oh, thank you, Eric. Where you came from was actually using not only your critical thinking, your mind, what you've learned, the ABCs of it, but
Yes.
your ability to um, your ability to reason.
Hmm.
And like, okay, 2 plus 2 is 4, but so is 1 plus 3. And how about 0 plus 4? It's also 4. So
Right.
that ability is so innate in decision making, where folks, and I'm saying folks, okay, generations or 2 generations behind me at my age right now, right? So you're like, why'd you do that? That don't make no sense. That's because they're using the quick fix. They're using, cutting corners. It doesn't work.
Right. Right.
It doesn't work
Yeah,
for
that's all
those
I'm
who,
saying.
yeah, I
Keep
don't
it
want to
simple.
keep talking. For those who can bake, especially chefs, you know
Hmm.
about cutting corners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't taste or feel the same. So was that where you were getting at?
For the most part, yes. Yep. And Eve says the brain is also a muscle. You have to work it so it can be stronger and stay sharp.
Mhm.
Yes. Well said. Well said.
Absolutely. And Rob, as that's brought up, don't forget where you're coming from. We used to come from a time when it's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? That
Ah.
TV used to shut off, right? Because it's
Yep.
important to rest.
Yes.
We didn't
Yes.
come from, we came from a world that had balance. We talk about, oh, work life balance, this life balance.
Hmm.
If the store's not open 24/7, then you complain about it. On a Sunday, it was a rest day, or a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So we do take our brain for granted. We need that rest. You
We do.
need to shut it off. So, what advice do you have for us about that? That now, I think the paper's lopsided because I think when I first started the conversation, I thought I was going to be more on the, the now,
Hmm.
because of all the great and the speed and all the great features. But as I'm speaking, I'm really glad you got this conversation going because now I'm thinking the then.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to show some slides, and
Okay.
we're gonna go back in time. We're gonna have a little fun here. And
Okay.
I want, especially our people there that are chatting, um, tell us what these images mean to you, and what childhood memories they bring forth as well. All right. So Christine, you ready?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready. This is great.
You sure you're ready now?
You ain't got no pictures of me though.
No.
Okay. Then I'm ready. I'm good.
All right, let's go. Let's go back in time. Here we go. All right, let's take that one off the screen. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, for many of us,
Oh
this is
man.
what our first TV set actually looked like. For all of you 60s and 70s and maybe even the 80s babies, maybe not the 80s babies, but yeah, 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's what our first TV set looked like.
You want to know what mine looked like? This is great. I forgot about the rabbit ears.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we had a dial. It was brown, and the speakers were on the side, like the little holes, like radio holes, and then
yeah,
we had an actual dial. So there was only 8 channels, maybe, because the dial only went up to so far.
right. So you had
Yeah.
to turn the knob.
Oh yeah, we had yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Sure
Yeah.
enough.
This brings it way back.
Mm-hmm.
So Fat Albert's about to jump through the TV, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, and back in them days, you had to stand up there next to the TV and hold the antennas, or put some aluminum
Oh,
foil on it to get a
come
good
on,
connection.
talk about it.
Yeah, otherwise you just see a screen of snow showing up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, that's our first reflection point there.
Hmm.
Mm. So when you saw this vehicle, I don't know how it was for you guys there in Jamaica, Christine, but what did you do when you saw this vehicle show up on the road? It might be not
Oh,
might.
the punch buggy. You'd have to punch. It wasn't in Jamaica. It was, yeah. It was over here in Toronto. But you'd have to punch someone in the arm. Say punch buggy. No
Oh
punch.
wow, wow. So you said it was like that in Jamaica or no?
No, I was in Toronto
Yeah.
when I first saw my first punch buggy.
So it was a thing in Toronto.
Oh yeah, you have to punch someone right beside you, right?
How about that? Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I'm,
That one's in good shape too.
I'm quite sure. So I'm wondering, like, how did that start, and how did it get to be a world renowned thing?
Maybe it was a commercial, car commercial. I don't know.
But yeah, that's funny there. Yeah,
Yeah,
punch buggy. Yep, the old Volkswagen. Sure enough.
Volkswagen.
Hmm. When is
Oh
the last time you've seen one of these?
man, I think a city hall. If you go to any city hall, I think it's mandated they have one.
Really?
Must be, yeah. Yeah,
We
that's
don't,
where
we
I last saw
don't have
one.
them at our city hall, and I can't even recall. It's been over 5, maybe 10 years since I've seen a payphone on the street anywhere.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're gone off the streets. No one's servicing those anymore.
Definitely.
Um, but I've seen one, if I'm not mistaken, in the city hall
Hmm.
in Toronto. And
Okay.
the reason why is because the lady was talking to something was at her ear, and there was a wire that led to the wall. I
Hmm.
had to double take. I was like, oh, those still exist. I kept it moving.
Yeah. Right.
So I
Yeah.
figure, yeah, maybe because City Hall, if you have to call, they always have to say, oh, call this number, call that number. That's what the folks at the window do. Hey, shout out to the folks at the window, but don't give
Mhm.
you no answer. They tell you what number to call. So maybe that's why they said, Here's a phone. You could use it if you don't have a cell phone. But
Yeah.
yeah. And where else did I see that? Airport? Are they in airports?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Help us out, audience. Where have you seen these payphones at, or have you seen them anywhere? Airport,
And you know
community.
what,
Mm,
Rob? If you do see them, you don't want to use it. Kind of like you hold it far from your ear, like because you don't want it. You don't want. Can you
ooh,
imagine how folks used to just pick it up and talk right there, right
yep.
next to your face, right next to your mouth? We never thought about, you know.
Some people used to use it as their own personal home phone because
I'm
they had
telling
a
you.
number to call back to. They're like, just call me back. They'd be on the phone for hours.
I'm
Oh,
telling you.
yeah.
And they put it right up to between the ear and the shoulder,
Mm.
so you got cozy with the phone. You didn't care who was using it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So when you saw these come on, what does that mean?
Go home. You're late.
So where were you at for this, Christine? Toronto or in Jamaica?
Oh, that in my neighborhood, they didn't have that in Jamaica.
Mm.
Yeah, the sun told you what's up. No,
Oh yeah.
we didn't have that in Jamaica. Yeah, so that is definitely Toronto.
Okay. All right. So in Jamaica is when the sun went down, you better have your butt in the house.
Before that, but definitely you don't want to get caught out with
Mm.
sundown. Mm-mm,
Okay. All
mm-mm.
right. Wow. Yeah. Another thing that's transcended worldwide. Lights on, street lights come on, you better be in the house.
Yeah, you're late. You're late.
All right, so let's look at this one here. So,
Mm-hmm.
what does this remind you of?
Stove? No,
Uh, yeah, it's a stove.
oven.
Uh, so, what does the lady appear to be doing there?
She's checking to see if it's hot.
Okay, all right, we'll go with
So
that.
what do you think?
Well, I would say when the boiler's not working in the house, the good old oven can provide that.
Oh, the heat.
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, especially in in the cold climates, you do by any means necessary. That's the truth.
mhm.
Yes. Good evening, Pastor Fred.
Yes, God bless you, sir. Good to have you with us. So yes, anytime the heat went out, we didn't have heat in the house. Hey, fire up the oven. Once it get warm, open up that door. Everybody gather around, get a little heat.
And
Yeah,
that's yeah, and that's all she wrote,
that's it.
and it works.
Oh yeah, works like a charm.
Works like a charm. Okay, so
Yeah.
um,
So in Jamaica, I'm sure you didn't experience this, but
no.
growing up as kids here in New Jersey, you know, when there was snow on the ground, we had to walk to school. It wasn't no closing of the schools like you see now. You get a couple of snowflakes, and now they closing the schools. But back then, it'd be like 5, 10 inches of snow on the ground,
Wow,
and we still had to go and walk to school. But
still had
now,
to go.
yeah,
Mhm.
all the kids they getting rides to school and all that good stuff. So a lot of things really kind of spoil our children now. But it just makes you think of the things that we had to go through as kids made
Yes,
us much stronger and better equipped to handle all of the different things that we have to go through now.
100% more resilient.
Yes,
Um, I, I sent you a message in the chat.
oh,
Uh,
oh, okay,
yes, yes. So
okay.
yes, I'm at the mercy of this device here. Talking about then and now, we didn't have laptops, and I couldn't be.
This is true. This
Yes,
is
could be
true.
on StreamYard. So there's a point for now. There's a point for now. So
Hmm.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
But I just want to say I really enjoyed this conversation.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. It's it's I'd love to talk about the denim now. A part two, please. Hello, Elevate with Vern. Nice to see you. Hey. So I want to have a part two if I can. I want to speak
Right.
about um, employees then and now.
Ooh,
Work
wow.
work environments then and now. I'd love to have a part two. I know we don't have time to do it tonight.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, we will definitely put that in the planner. Yes, we shall have that discussion.
Awesome. This is a great what's holding you back because a lot of it, as we spoke about, just a quick recap before I log off, what's holding you back is the fact that you know you look at your life and be honest.
Mhm.
Are you not sharpening your tools? Do you even have a toolbox? Do you know how to cope? Because walking 3 miles to school will tell you how to cope, Pastor Fred. That's right. Will learn you how to cope with adversity, overcoming that. And if you like you mentioned, Rob, there's a cushiness, soft life they call it, right? The cushy life. Has that served? Has that served us? Because one generation had it so hard. They're like, no, I don't want my kids to live that way. And then,
We overcompensate.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then, yeah, we lead into the conversations how they now are coping
Hmm.
in the workplace, or are they not,
True. Very true.
right? So this is great on what's holding you back. Definitely could be something that's holding us back is the lack of resilience.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Vern says she's going to be in your area in about 3 weeks. So be looking out.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely love to see you. This is exciting.
Yes, yes, that'd be so awesome. Yeah,
Yes, that's oh yes. Oh yeah. If it's a seminar, Elevate with Vern, we have to do a special for her on what's holding you back.
definitely.
Yes.
So Vern says they need social skills and put down the phones and computers. Say it again, Vern. Say it, say it, say it. Yes.
Absolutely.
True.
100%. 100%. So
Sister,
we mhm.
greetings. Bless you. Go ahead, Christine.
Oh no, I'm gonna say I'm gonna join in the chat
Okay.
along with the viewers, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch devices. So I'll leave you to wrap up, Rob, on what's holding you back. It's been a great conversation on this Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Christine. And yes, we'll look forward to seeing your comments. I know you have to log off, but yes, we will be tuning in to hear your comments as they come across. All right. Thank you so
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the next picture.
much. All right. Okay. Here we go.
All right.
All right. So when you were coming home from school,
Oh
what was
no,
your favorite snack? Mm.
grape jelly. You're a grape jelly. I'm a strawberry. Who's in the chat with a strawberry jelly? I know I gotta go, but I need to know. Who's on strawberry side? Who's
I love,
strawberry?
I love strawberry, but grape
Strawberry
is my
jam.
first choice. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I was Kraft. Is Kraft not a big thing in the U.S.? Kraft.
Mayonnaise?
Yes. Mm-mm.
Kraft what?
Um.
Jelly?
Uh. No. Peanut butter.
Kraft? Kraft.
Kraft peanut butter. Is that a Canadian thing? What's a U.S. thing?
Yeah, I don't recall Kraft peanut.
Everyone in the U.S. talks about Jif.
Yeah, help me out, chat. Kraft peanut butter. Anybody heard of that? Kraft peanut butter.
Kraft peanut butter.
Grilled cheese. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Roast
Yeah.
cheese
She's got
sandwich.
it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Hmm.
I gotta go. We can talk about food now. I'll see you next week on What's Holding You Back. My name is Christine Allen from Clear Ambition, Speakers and Mentors. We'll talk to you soon. All right, I'm looking forward to the next slide.
All
All
right.
right, it's been great, Rob.
Yes, yes, excellent. All
Cheers.
right. So, talking about those after school snacks, what is this one here? Who can help me out with that? Vern says milk and cookies. Yeah, but nah, it's nothing like a good old fried bologna sandwich. What you know about that? Some fried bologna. with some cheese and an egg. Woo! That was something serious right there. Yeah, that was one of my favorite after school snacks. Yes, yes, that and a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Strawberries all the way. So yes, Pastor Fred is with the strawberry jelly. Okay, okay. Yes. Oh man, yeah. Vern know about that fried bologna. Yeah, them good old fried bologna sandwiches. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yvette know about it too. Oh yeah, yeah. Gotta have it. Got to have it. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that's where we come from. That's where we grew up on. It might not be the finest things in life, but it got us through and it made us into the people in which we are today. Oh, hold on. Yvette said she hated it. Oh man. But look, I had to put something on your stomach, right? So hey, it got you through. Yeah. And Vern said Franks and beans. Yep. Hot dogs and some old uh what them beans called? I can't remember the name of them now. But yeah, Franks and beans. Mm. Oh, that's too funny. All right, so who remembers this? The Nestle Quick chocolate mix and the strawberry mix with the it came in the metal can, and you see the lid at the top. You had to pop that open and scoop out the powdered mix and put it in your glass of milk. Woo! Now that was serious right there. Yes. Mm. All right. So Yvette says cinnamon toast. Okay. Yep. Love that. Pastor Fred said he loved the old bologna too. What? Pastor Fred, you had that? What? Okay. Okay. Mm. Yes, Vern. That chocolate Nestle Quick was something serious, right? Yeah, I couldn't wait for that. The quick mix. Yes. 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 Wow. Bringing back some memories right there. Yeah, I could just place myself back in them days now. Coming home from school, get me a tall glass of milk, put a couple of scoops of that chocolate mix in there. Couldn't tell me nothing. And it be all clumped together, so you got to mash it out and mix it up real good to get all the lumps out. But yeah, that was good. That was good. Yes, Pastor Fred, love it, love it. hmm Vern said a turkey and cheese hero. Oh yes, you know it, Vern. You know it. Yes. All of those good treats. So yes, as we talking about kids nowadays being on their phones and computers. So back in our days, we went outside and played. We had to do something to occupy our time and have a good time. So one of the games out there was then hopscotch, and jacks and playing marbles and things like that. So yeah, it was just fun activities. It wasn't all about being on the phone and on the computers because we didn't have them at that time. So we had to do something to make our childhood most enjoyable and spend it with our friends. That's how we built those bonds and great relationships by interacting with one another. And it was through games like this. So yeah, and yeah, for these old hot steamy days like this, yeah, back in the day, we always go out and see somebody have the fire hydrant open. Then we had a block parties in the summertime. But now you don't really see that so much. Yeah, it's like things in the past. But when you reflect back and you look at these things, you're like, wow, how things have changed. But yeah, these were some really good times, man. It used to be, when you was driving around with your parents or whatever, you always see all the fire hydrants open on different streets and all the kids out there playing in the water, and you just wanted to jump out and go have a good time as well. But yeah, Things are just different now. So much different. Ice cold lemonade, homemade. Yes, Vern. Yes, Vern. You probably had your own little lemonade stand out there, right? Yes. So Yvette says yes. Love the water, playing in the water. Yes, it was so much fun. Mm, yes, yes, yes. Times like this. Yes. So yeah, we just reflecting and cherishing some of the memories of our childhood days, and just thinking about some of the things that we used to do, some of the things that we had to go through, and these things have made us the persons in which we are today. So we just want to continue to reflect on the memories, and share with our kids as they're coming up, and try to get them to become more interactive in doing things besides being so much into the video games and on the phones, and just isolating themselves, from outside of the world, because they're so caught up in technology and the games and the phones and stuff. And it's kind of sad to see, when you see kids going out and they're in a group amongst themselves, you see that they're all on the phone, when they should be conversation amongst one another, but instead they're all on their own individual devices, having totally separate conversations, or watching something else that is nothing to deal with the peer group in which they're amongst. So it's just, you know, we need to really take time to really push our kids into having more awareness, of having interaction and building up their social skills, because they are really lacking. And that's because there's not a lot of interaction amongst themselves. It's so much on their handheld devices that a lot of kids now, they really don't know how to socialize with one another. So yeah, there's some things that we really need to be mindful of, and try to help them, encourage them, push them a little bit to have more interaction with one another. Yes, Yvette says nostalgic memories. Yes, very much so. Very much so. So yes, family, I just want to thank each and every one of excuse me, each and every one of you for joining us and being a part of the discussion this afternoon, this evening. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. We had some good reflection points and took a little memory back in time, and hopefully it brought back some good memories for you, your childhood days and things that you experienced, and yeah, some things that we might have forgotten about, but now as we see them, yeah, it brings back those refreshing memories. So yeah, we are thankful for that. Sister Joan, blessings, my sis. Good to have you. Yes, and she's saying we are falling into the trap of isolation. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And yes, we have to be very mindful of that, and encourage our kids to become more interactive, and just try to get them away from being isolated so much. That's not a good place to be. So we just have to do whatever we can. All right. Okay. So yes, family, we are going to close it out for today. But next week is going to be our 1 year anniversary for What's Holding You Back. And we're going to put together um, a very nice program. I don't want to tip my hand as to what we're going to do as of yet, but I'm just going to say tune in next week at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And we're going to have a an excellent program. And I'm going to say for all of our previous guests, you definitely want to tune in. We're going to have a special tribute for all of you and for those of you to come on as well in the very near future. So please be a part of the broadcast next week. Tell a friend, come on out and be a part of it. So, on behalf of Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, my name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network. We thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week on our anniversary special here on What's Holding You Back. Take care.
Wanna succeed, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train out, headed for the horizon where success is no doubt. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. Finally gotta reach for the sky.